Monday, 1st of September. Cheers. I'll take that off in a second because I do not want to, oh, isn't that lovely? What a lovely way to start the day. Oh, I'd like to keep it playing for you. But I'm not going to risk a copyright strike. And also because I'm kind of nerdy like this, I'm going to keep struggling with that light. So, cheers. When I get up and read the latest comments, someone was vibing with me about Bill Connors and mentioned this album that I was just playing that I said, oh, I think I have that. I do have the Bill Connors albums on ECM. I think I'm missing one. But the person mentioned this album, Tom Vandergeld, with Bill Connors and Roger Janata, The Path. And I said to myself, I'll be darned, I have that. Look at that light. Isn't that something? Boy, that just bugs me. I'm going to look into getting a different camera that doesn't do that, that's where you spend more and you can set the light. I remember that about working on movies, how the camera crew and would they'll get the white balance. That'd be the first thing they do with the cameras before they shoot anything is get that white balance and all that shit. Cheers, people. It's all dark and rainy here today on this Labor Day. And interestingly, as long as I can remember, almost every Labor Day, which is a holiday, it gets real rainy. And it's been raining since last night. It stopped for a while, but I wake up this morning and it's just light. And so this album, the way that it started, The Path, perfect for this morning. It's beautiful. Try to get that white balance going. Oh, geez. What's up with that? Well, anyway, it's just me. Nobody else probably bothers. Cheers, people. So, what's going on with Dereck this morning? Well, I spent today really reminiscing quite a bit about my musical past because of the event in Iowa. I looked for traces of the event online yesterday, but there was really nothing except for finally a poster, I guess you could say. But yeah, let me look at it. It's on my page. It showed who all got inducted yesterday and pictures of everybody. And as I looked at it, I recognized some of the people, local Midwest people, but also from the past, the chevrons. It's like, oh, why did it take it so long for them to recognize the chevrons? They were a local band that go back to the 60s. And just, yeah. Jim, I haven't played the Rio Angie yet because yesterday I just have to do it when it's happening. I'm on a roll, and I have a new album. Basically, it's not done, but it's getting there. I already had another album's worth of material kind of picked out, but since then, this is a whole new set of music, and so I'm tweaking it. That's the word, finding little parts where it's like, where again, hardly anyone else who listens will probably notice, but it's things that I want to have, I want to have it right, or I want to have it right to my ears. When I was playing my new tunes to Blake, and I just said to him, Blake, I don't know what this music is. I don't know what to call it. It's not a genre. It's just this music that I have to make. It reminds me of a video that I watched, not all the way through, but Elmo has a podcast, I guess you could call it, show on YouTube where he talks to different musicians. He's a drummer, but his latest interview is with the Miles the Music Kid. It's this kid who discovered he has a natural talent for music when he was like 3 or 4. He's 9 now, and I like something that this little boy said, because I stayed true to it myself. He said, don't make the music that you think other people want to hear. No, he said it better. He said, make the music you hear in your head. Make the music you want to hear inside of your head. And that's what I'm doing. That's what I've been doing. I don't chase. I mean, I try to do different styles of music to see if I can do it. And then sometimes ideas come that are in a certain genre, but mostly it's just what comes to me. So that's the case with this new set of music that's coming together. But I sure am liking it, and I love the process. Besides the project, which is musically done with Otis 12, I'm got the makings of my next solo album. And speaking of Otis 12, good morning if you see this, Doug. I am going to probably undertake trying to assemble a new collage as a option for artwork for the front cover, because we have the rest of the cover figured out. The back, will be a picture of us, and on the inside, we'll, even though it's going to be small, but we want to print the poems so you can read them. You can call them lyrics if you want, but they're poems. There is a difference. Poems can be lyrical, and poems can be set to music, and then lyrics are written specifically for a musical setting. So, in fact, the only thing that got played yesterday, I may do a poll since it's been a while, but I played the Afel Bukum again, Linde. This is wonderful music. This is just really, really wonderful. That's all I gotta say. Find out about that. That's real good. The other thing that I ended up playing, it was sticking out, and so it said, yeah, you're supposed to play me. More John Hassell. This man was, rest in peace, John Hassell. He was ahead of his times, ahead of the times. He was a pioneer. He was an influence on Brian Eno, basically coining the term ambient music. John Hassell was one of Eno's influences. So this came out in 2018, Listening to Pictures, on a label that he had just started, I think. And this music is incredible. It sounds right. It just sounds so modern. You could almost say futuristic, but it just sounds, when you put it on, it sounds like it's brand new, like it was made now. really fresh, and really wonderful. John Hassel, if you don't know, check him out. So it's cool to I had a quick chat with the post my mailman the other day when he dropped off Jim's latest CD. I haven't played it yet, Jim, because I'm doing night listens to my mixes right now. I'll get to this. But I see in the comments here where, my goodness, the postman actually remembers my band Digital Sex. He made the comment that he had never heard me with Scudder, but he remembers Digital Sex. Pretty cool. And to speak of that, when I was talking to Blake the other day about going into the Hall of Fame again, and he was saying, well, yeah, you're already in with Digital Sex, right? I said, no, Digital Sex is not in. I'm in. And the reason why I'm in and not the band Digital Sex is because at that time, at the end of the 70s, beginning of the 80s, when independent music was becoming a thing, you know, and eventually a marketable thing that made it disappear, I was in several bands that were not doing the usual thing here in Omaha. Digital Sex was one of them. Disco Ranch was another. Elvis and His Boss was another. Even before that, kind of rivaling Scudder for um, local hard rock was my band Full Clip. We only did one original, but we ended out the 70s with that band. And I played everything from Bob Seger to Ted Nugent with that band to blues, you know, John Lee Hooker. And then towards the end, I said, we gotta change up, guys. And we started doing stuff like the Ramones and Devo. So so I was happy to explain to Blake, that's why I'm in the Hall of Fame in Nebraska already and not Digital Sex. Digital Sex I don't know that it necessarily, you know, I would accept that honor. We were groundbreaking in many ways for Omaha in particular. Cheers, people. So the cats are my friends. They don't let me pet them, but I just care about them. And it's raining, and I look outside, and the cats are outside sleeping in the rain. I mean, those are tough cats. You know, they're wild, but they're just beautiful. I really like. It's comforting to see them, actually. And so I was looking at the keys this morning. I said, "Oh, you're out in the rain. My honeys are in the rain, and they just don't seem to. They're just sleeping in the rain." I saw some tough cats. So let's see. These are kind of sticking out, so I'm just going to grab some here. What do we have? Because I am kind of when it happens. Come on, camera, come on. There we go. I'm looking at some weeding out, as it were, because there are some records here where it's like, I remember why I kept it. It's been there so long that I've forgotten it, and I won't be playing it again. So let's see if anything like that comes up here. This is from the I section. That's I going into J. So what we have here is interior. Japanese instrumental, kind of ambient. I don't want that. I don't want to overuse the word. Like psychedelic has been overused, but it's correct. produced by Hiromi Hosono. And it's on Windham Hill. This is a rather unique. They had two of their albums they released in America on Windham Hill. And it's a unique sound. They don't sound like anybody. Maybe close to Mark Isham, to some of his work, but not really. This is some cool stuff. It is. Interior. So there's that. Here's one that was gifted to me through John Coltrane 68, who I haven't heard from in years. I hope he's okay. Intense. Triad. I love finding out about records like this on the Sky label. When he sent it to me, I did not know about it. I like knowing about stuff, but I can't know everything. So this is water damage. Again, it's one of those things that when you're a crate digger and you find stuff, sometimes you just have to take what you can find because the stuff is so odd and unusual. So I wouldn't be surprised that, that's partly why I have this. He probably has a copy in better shape. I don't remember this. I have to play it. Now here's one from the Baggy. Back when Baggy was happening in the 80s, going into the 90s with Stone Roses and stuff. I like the Stone Roses, but I actually like In Spiral Carpets better. The Cool as Fuck EP. Joe, Find Out Why, and then the sidelong plane crash. Their sound with the organ was a bit of a throwback to the 60s, and at the same time it sounded totally relevant now. Here is Find Out Why. Great song. One of the band members passed away already. This is and this I think is a modern classic, unknown except to those who know. But I think this could be a modern classic if it got played across the wide airwaves, if it could. Move by In Spiral Carpets. Have you heard this song? It's not quite epic, but this is like, yeah. So I have my browser open to my Facebook page, and I just saw where Zeril Anger is. I didn't know I was in my friends group, my mail-in, but I just saw his name pop up. This is, if you've never heard this is a wonderful song. So here next, this is something I don't listen to much, and when I first heard it back when it first came out, I didn't like it because it was just so rootsy. The Insect Trust, Hoboken Saturday Night. This is a white label promo. I really dig it now. I had to grow into appreciation of what these people were doing, and their knowledge of roots music and their ability to play it mixed with other genres. This is a pretty cool record. Trip on Me. Now Then, Sweet Man. I'm looking at these, and I actually know these songs. If any of these people went on after this band to do something, I don't recognize it from their names, but Insect Trust. And then I know that one better than this one because I got this used not that long ago, within the last couple of years. This is a reissue of their first album, The Insect Trust. I think this is the first one. Love that cover. Love it. I see it's on Phoenix, which to my understanding is not a legitimate company. Discogs won't list their records for sale, saying they're not legitimate, but these are high quality. All the Phoenix records that I have are very high quality. And This is something I have to dive into. Today being a rainy day and dark, it's perfect for us record collectors and music listeners and art lovers. So here is Danzendan Pojidan Inoyamaland, the new master. I was looking for this for years and I couldn't find it still. This is a reissue. I knew about this and was trying to get an original. This is beautiful, quiet. There's that A word again. This will probably sound great today with the rain. We'll leave these sitting out. The next one is Commissions by Inoyama Land. 1977 to 2000. Once again, lovely. Some of you folks who've been following me remember when I bought this because I showed it when I got it, whenever that was. I believe this is on clear vinyl. Yes. So this is some stuff to play besides working on music, because I do already have an agenda for some things that I listened to last night on the new material. Some things I want to do. I showed this before. This is a survivor of my punk rock collection of all things. I didn't keep the Black Flag. There's a lot of things that I didn't keep the Misfits, but I kept Inferno. German band, Habakusha. In particular for the first track. It's killer. And it's not that well recorded, but that's not the point with punk. But the energy, they're singing in German, but I really feel this first song in particular. The whole album is good, but the first one just kicks my ass. Inferno. That's a fucking keeper. If I'm not mistaken, a while back, one of the members of this band got a hold of me, Indoor Life, seeing that I had talked to some other musicians, you know, and he said he was interested in being a guest, and I said, well, I was honest, said thank you, but thank you. But Indoor Life from the 80s. I have to play this. I can almost mention who they're similar to, but it was a keeper like this. Indochine. This is almost pop. Le Père Jean. But it's a kind of electronic-y. It's kind of quirky. It's last time I played it, it was like, yeah, this is a keeper. It was a while ago, but it's just what's over there. And the last thing that I pulled, this is another one from my punk, and this is one of the most amazing punk rock shows I've ever been to. It was explosive. The Italian band, Indigesti, Osservati dal Ingiano. And I've told the story about how after the show was over and I went to get my record signed, I scared the band because they're not used to black people. You know, I mean, punk rock. I mean, you know, the whole racist thing, which I bring up quite a bit. From my point of view, it's just always infuriating because of the insanity of it, you know. And this music moved me, and they were explosive, and it was amazing. And I was super excited, so when I went up to get the record signed, I was all like this, you know, and I scared them, literally. Got the road manager, hey, it's okay, he's a fan. Which brings me back to thoughts of the Iowa Rock Hall of Fame, and why I didn't go. When I looked at the roster, the poster of everyone that got inducted this year, sure enough, I'm the only black face. Now, the band Indigenous, who are American Indians, natives to this land, they got inducted. they're not friends of mine, but I'm familiar with them because I've played shows on the same bill with them, and we got friendly. So there was that, but everybody else, white, which I have to ask myself, is there anyone black in the Iowa Rock and Roll Hall of Fame at all besides me? But I'm definitely the only black face this year. And just those little things like that where it's like still in 2025, we still have these weird racial divides, and and it just sucks, that it just sucks that it won't get better. So anyway, sweep that away. I intend to call Jeff Morris here later this morning. They're probably back home by now to see how it went. We'll probably meet up with him sometime to get my copy of the award. So that's that. 26 minutes. Where does the time go? Where does it go? Labor Day is meaningless to me, so I don't have anything to say about that. Kind of like Memorial Day. So I just hope you have a good, relaxing day. Family is always thinking about you. Folks, take care. I appreciate that you folks that share little things with me, that's cool. That's fine. I get it, I see where Sean says he's working on another percussion piece. I'm going to go back to because this is just a short part. This is just a very short part of my day. And I go on about my business. Let me see if there's anything else to respond to. I appreciate all of the congratulations, folks. Thank you. I love seeing that people are listening to my music. Someone says, I really like this, to the track Childhood. If you haven't listened to my music, folks, I don't know why, because I'm just as good as anything you're listening to. Well, I really am. Someone said the little mundanities are the joy of the channel. Cool, thank you. This is real life. And then someone else, Danger Mouse, says this. What is significant to me is that many of your tunes are in my Hall of Fame and on my primary playlist. Thank you. That I love knowing that. Because with all this music that I listen to, my music is on my main playlist often. And then here is from Glenn Michael Thompson. He did the artwork for Michael Gregory Jackson's Equilibrium Cone album. It's so cool to do stuff like that, I have a Michael Gregory Jackson album, or I did. I may not have it anymore. So yeah, he's telling me about things that he's won, that he is judo medals and stuff. He's saying, I don't want to seem like I'm whining. I just feel like letting you know just how very blessed you are to have the support of your family members. Um, and absolutely. Oh, I see here. He was saying his family never supported them. That's unfortunate. He'll be 65 next week. Bless you, and your story, you are heard. Bless you. And my regular folks like Sean and Bluger and Richard Drolet and other folks, glad you're here. Have a great day.